Hi, my name is Teo Soggs, and I will be making YouTube videos on NBA content and maybe some NFL content. Today I'll be doing the 2022 NBA mock draft, full first round. Uh, Today, the date is June 18th, 2022. So the draft is on June 23rd, I believe. So this is 5 days before the draft. This is what I think will happen and not well, it's a little bit of what I think will happen and some things that I think should happen. So I'm not gonna have Chet going number one just because I see a lot of Jabari Smith going number one. But I do have a couple guys I like that I'm gonna have going a little higher than they should be going. So let's get started with the first pick. Like I said before, it's gonna be Jabari Smith out of Auburn, 6'10" power forward, can shoot. He's honestly my third prospect on my big board, but I like Paulo and Chet better, but I really like Jabari Smith. I think he'll be very good. I don't know how the Magic will use him just because of the uncertainty of how good Cole Anthony, Markel Fultz are. But I like the pick, number one pick, solid. And then OKC, I have them going with whoever's left from Jabari or Chet. So they got Chet here, good lob threat for Josh Giddey, really good defender. They've always needed a big, and they're finally gonna get one in Chet. So I really like Chet here. He can shoot. I think he has the most potential in the draft. Chet Holmgren, number two. And then Houston, I haven't seen anyone else mocked here other than Paulo. So I'm just keep it the same. I really like the fit because Jalen Green and Paulo can be very good. I think they need a point guard, maybe a veteran point guard. I like Tyus Jones going them in free agency, but I really like Paulo going here. He's my favorite player in the draft. I think he's the best player in the draft, but he hasn't been getting the hype that Jabari Smith and Chet have, and he's kind of locked here at three. So I like him at three though. With the fourth pick, the Kings. They can have a couple options. I like them trading it, but I don't know what they can trade it for. Maybe John Collins. I don't really like the fit of Jaden Ivey and De'Aaron Fox. Just too ball dominant, not the best shooters. They are very fast. They'd be fun to watch, but reports show that Jaden Ivey doesn't even want to go to the Kings. So I really like the fit of Keegan Murray. Uh, he can stretch it out a little bit. He's just a really solid player. He's older than a couple people in the draft, but I don't think that really matters. I think he can help them win now, and I think he'll be a solid rookie at four. Now with the fifth pick, I love this fit for Cade Cunningham and the Pistons. I love Jane Ivey. I think that backcourt will be electric. I don't know if Jane Ivey's gonna fall this far on draft night. Some people have him as a top two or three player. I've fallen him to five, but Jane Ivey and Cade Cunningham will have a really bright future. The sixth pick, Pacers can go with a couple people. I've seen them wanting to get Benefit Mathurin, AJ Griffin, even Dyson Daniels can go here. But I don't see them passing on Shaden Sharp. He has a lot of bust potential just because he didn't play college basketball, but he has he has top three potential. Just his floor is very low, but his ceiling is as high as Chet, Jabari, and Paulo. It's one of the highest in the draft. So I don't see them passing on that upside and a six athletic wing. So I like Shane Sharp. The Trailblazers at seven. I'm pretty sure they will trade this pick. I don't really see them keeping it, but I'm not going to do trades for this mock draft. So I see them taking Bennett Mathurin. He can fit well with the Dame, and he can fit well if they trade Dame with Anthony Simons. He's kind of a athletic small forward that can kind of do a little everything, and he's a sophomore. He's not a freshman like some other big time players, but I like him going to the Blazers at seven. With the eighth pick, the Pelicans. They got really lucky with the Anthony Davis trade. They get the eighth pick. I'm not totally sure who they can get. I like a couple people here, but one of my favorite players in the draft, Dyson Daniels, is on the board, and I don't see them passing on Dyson Daniels. It reminds me of someone they let go in Lonzo Ball. He's a good passer, improved shooter, and he's a really tall point guard. So I really like Dyson Daniels here. At 9, the Spurs have a lot of choices. AJ Griffin's still on the board. Johnny Davis, Ujman Dang, Jalen Duren. So I'm gonna have them going with Jalen Duren just because they have a lot of guards and forwards, and I just don't see them. It's kind of a log jam. I see Jalen Duren being a good backup to Podol and maybe start in a couple years. So I really like Jalen Duren at 9. At 10, the Wizards, they would really love Dyson Daniels here because he's a point guard and they really need a point guard. I can see them trading this pick for a Malcolm Brogdon type player, but I say they go best available and Johnny Davis, a good scorer who can play right away with Bradley Beal. I don't think he can run the point guard and Beal, so he would come off the bench, but I think he would be a good. He reminds me a little bit of Chris Duarte, not as old, but he can make instant impact like Chris Duarte. So I like him at 10. 11, the Knicks, there's no Dyson Daniels. I think it's a little early for Ty Washington. They can go with the big because of Mitchell Robinson leaving, but I just don't see them passing on AJ Griffin and his upside and how he can play. You know, he can guard threes and fours and twos and ones. In the future, he also shot the three ball very well, so I really like AJ Griffin here. Now, with the 12th pick, I've seen a lot of Jeremy Sohan here, even Ujman Dang, just people with potential, but I think OKC already has that in Poku and Darius Baisley, and I think they should just stockpile bigs. And I really like Mark Williams, so I'm gonna draft Mark Williams here. I want him to go higher, but I just think there's a really good fit for him. I think him and Chet can play together because Chet can shoot, and that's a lot of defense, a lot of length. So I really like Mark Williams here. The 13th pick, the Hornets, they can go a couple people, but I really like Jeremy Sohan, Oshay Abaje. So I'm not gonna spoil it, but they're gonna get both of them. I'm gonna take Oshay Abaje first. He can shoot, and he can help them win right away. And I think they need to get out of that 10 seed and stop being just a playing team, and turn into an actual playoff team. So I think Oshay Abaje helps with that. Now with the 14th pick, this is kind of a reach, but I really like him, and I think he's a good fit for Cleveland, especially if Colin Sexton's leaving. That's Jaden Hardy, one of my favorite players in this draft. I think he can score really well. He didn't have a good first half of the season, but played really well the second half. And there's a couple people. Jalen Williams would be a good fit here. Malachi Branham would be a very good fit here. But I really like Jaden Hardy, so I'm going to take Jaden Hardy. The 15th pick, like I said before, I think Jeremy Sohan is a really good wing. I think he can help out the Hornets a lot. It's kind of like PJ Washington. He has a lot of upside too, so I really like Jeremy Sohan going here. Ujman Dang wouldn't be a bad choice. Tari Eason. And maybe they reach on a center, but I don't really like. I'd rather them get a veteran center than reach on a center like Walker Kessler or something like that. So I really like Jeremy Sohan here. The 16th pick. The Hawks have a couple choices. They can go. I don't. They can go any position. They're really okay at any position, but John Collins might get traded. So I really like EJ Liddell and Tari Eason. I say Tari Eason just because I think he's a little more versatile. I think he can play a little more positions, and I think he can I think can fit well with Trae Young. So I like Tari Eason here. 17, the Rockets. I heard they might trade up with this pick and the pick that they got from the Dallas Mavericks. So I would like that because a player like um I don't know, Johnny Davis, I think would be good here. He can shoot. I don't know if they can trade all the way up to get a Dyson Daniels would be phenomenal, but I think that's a little too high. So I like them getting Ty Washington. He's a good point guard. If Kevin Porter Jr. is not who we think he is, I think Ty Washington can be a good starter in the NBA. And off the bat, he'll be a good bench player. So I really like Ty Washington. The Bulls at 18. Um, I think they need more defense and more like forward. So I really like EJ Liddell here. They can also go with the Marjon Beauchamp, and I really like Dalen Terry, and I thought about picking him here, but I think Dalen Terry it's a little high for him, so I really like EJ Liddell here. Minnesota at 19. This is an interesting pick because they might trade it. They might trade D'Angelo Russell. Other than Edwards and Towns, we don't really know who's going to stay on the team. So I would just go with maybe best available, or I think the best available right now is Nikola Jovic. He has the most potential, so I'm going to go Nikola Jovic. With the 20th pick, I think they go upside. They got Jalen Duran, he has a solid floor. He has a good upside too, but he has a solid floor. They already have stockpile guards. I really like Ousmane Deng here. He just seems like a Spurs player because he's not American. But I really like Ousmane Deng. I think he can. I'm not sure if he'll get a lot of minutes, but I think he'll develop well. In a couple years, he might be like, geez, he fell to 20. So I really like Ousmane Deng. 21. Um, the Denver Nuggets, I think they go best available, and they kind of have a little. I mean, they have a good shooting guard, Will Barton, but I would go Malachi Branham. He should have gone a little bit higher, but I don't know. I just felt like I don't know the players above him were a little bit better fits for their teams, but Malachi Branham, I don't see the Nuggets passing up on him. 22, Grizzlies would have loved Malachi Branham, but now Tyus Jones might leave. Kenny Chandler's an option, but I really like Dalen Terry here because he can play point guard, but he can also play with Ja Morant. He's very tall, and he can play a couple positions, so I really like Dalen Terry at 22. 23, the 76ers. I would be surprised if they made this pick on draft night. He just seems like this just seems like something they would trade. Um, but I really like Wendell Moore here. I think he can play right away. He can shoot, so I really like Wendell Moore here. Wendell Moore. 24, the Bucks. I seen Walker Kessler. I might go Walker Kessler. I don't know if I don't. I think maybe Jalen Williams, but I like Walker Kessler here just because he had a lot of blocks. He's a very good defender, and if he can stretch the floor well, he can maybe turn into Brook Lopez. So I like Walker Kessler at 24. San Antonio has another pick. I don't see them making this many draft picks just because it'll be a little bit of a it'll be just too many players. But I'm not trading picks, of course. So I would go best available, and right now I believe best available is Jalen Williams, and I think he can be very good actually, and I think he can be pretty good almost right away. So I like Jalen Williams right here, and that's a very good draft. Jalen Duran, Ousmane Deng, and Jalen Williams. I think at least one of those will become a solid player. At 26, they already took Paolo and Tai Tai. So right here, I mean, they can go with the center, but I really like their center right now, Turkish. His name's Clip on tongue, but he has really good footwork. Alperen Sengun. So I don't know about big man. I think this might be just another best player available, and my best player available right now is Marjan Beauchamp. Played well in G League Ignite, and I think he can fit well with any team. So Marjan Beauchamp to the Rockets. 27. The Heat, I think they might go with point guard just because of the uncertainty of Kyle Lowry's health. Gabe Vincent, he's solid, but I don't think there's a better player right now than Kenny Chandler. I think the Warriors would love to have him at the next pick, but I think Kenny Chandler is a great point guard and can even start one day. Sorry, I just pressed on David Robbie on accident. 28, the Golden State Warriors. I see them trading this pick, but if they make the pick, I think they already have enough upside players in Wiseman, Kuminga, and Moody they're all upside guys. So maybe they go with the win now player. So I really like Andrew Nembhard here. He might not be in the rotation, but if Steph Curry needs to rest or knock on wood gets injured, he can play 20 minutes a game at the NBA level next year. I really believe so. So I like Andrew Nembhard here. Good. I think he'll be a very good backup point guard. Now at the 29th pick, I think now that we're this late, we just go with upside. And I don't see how the Memphis Grizzlies pass on Patrick Baldwin. He had a few rough years, but his upside is probably top 10 in the draft. Just his height and his shooting. So I see them taking Patrick Baldwin. The 30th pick, the Nuggets have this from Phoenix. They already drafted Malcolm Brandon, which was a very good pick. So I see them getting maybe a backup big for Nikola Jokic. I really like Christian Koloko. I think he can play 10, 15 minutes a game, catch some rebounds, give Nikola Jokic a ref. So I think the last pick would be Christian Koloko. And that's my draft. I'm going to scroll down just to show you a little bit of the draft. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think is a little weird about my draft. I know Jaden Hardy might be a little high. I really like him. So just tell me what you like or don't like about my draft. And thank you.